Hi again. We're off to Humoresque. Humoresque is one of my favorite pieces in all of the Suzuki books. And it looks difficult, but it's really fun to play, and it's not as difficult once you hear it. So I'm going to demonstrate on violin, and then I'll play through it on the viola. This one is the exact same fingerings and just one string different for the viola. So we have two sharps for violin, so F sharp and C sharp. We have one sharp for violas. All right, when you look at the beginning of this one, you might be like, I can't do it. It's really hard. And it's not as hard as what it looks like. It looks kind of like 16th notes. And we played 16th notes a lot before. So 16th notes, four of them equal one beat. All right. Now, if you look at this, though, you're like, no, there's a whole bunch of other stuff in there that is not 16th notes. They have thrown some rests in there. That's absolutely true. I'm going to play it without those rests. I'm going to play it just as if it were 16th notes. I'm going to play the first line so that you can hear what it sounds like. All right. Something I forgot to say is it says poco lento, so it's very slow, okay? Gracefully, very slow. Okay, so let's put those rests in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say shh every time we see one of those rests. Now that rest is half of a 16th note because you'll notice that the second note that we actually play is also half of a 16th note. So what they did is they just put a little rest in there, chopped that note in half. All right, so instead of this, it's this. I'm noticing myself going back and forth because it's very dancey. It's very nice. I love this. Okay, so and you may have noticed that I actually added in the slurs, and adding the slurs in is actually easier when we do this. I don't know why. It really feels very natural to add those slurs in. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit. I'm going to play two lines. Okay, the A section. Longer than you think it would be. Pull down. Awesome. All right, now if you look at your piece, you just look at it, you're going to notice that this A section comes back two other times in the piece. Okay, so we have it 3 times total, and you can just see it. Seeing all of those little tiny rests marked in there. Now the second time and the third time, the first line is the same, and then the second line is slightly different at the end. All right, so if I'm starting at measure 21, which is the second time we play the A section, and it's the second line, I'm going to play along. The first 2 measures are exactly the same, and then it changes up right at the very end. All right, so I'm going to start at 21, and I'll explain it when we get there. So it starts the same. Now this next note is open. Then it says play 3 fingers for an F. So the only way you can play 3 fingers to play an F, or a B if you're playing on the viola, is to play in 3rd position on your 2nd string. So on the A string, 3rd position, 3 fingers for violin. On the D string, 3rd position, 3 fingers for the viola. So I'm going to play that note. I'm going to stay up in 3rd position, but cross over to your next lower string with 2 fingers. Play 1 finger right next to it. Stay in 3rd position, but cross back to your original string with 3 fingers. And then 2 fingers. And then at the end of the line, we shift back down to 1. And you'll notice there's a little teeny grace note there. It's a decoration. we just play as fast as we can. So line 21 sounds like this. Shift, crossover, shift back. Awesome. Okay. All right. So let's back it up just a bit to measure 9. Measure 9 is the B section. Okay. So it's completely different from what we played at the beginning. And again, it's got a tricky rhythm. Some places it has an 8th note and 2 16th notes, which we had way back in, say, book 2, the Hunter's Chorus. So we've got long, short, short. Each group of 3 notes like that equals 1 beat, and that's exactly what we have in measure 11. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Now at measure 9, it's a little bit different because the first note has a dot, and we know that when there's a dot after a note, it increases the length of that note. So instead of this at measure 9, where both 16th notes are the same speed, we need to make the first one a little bit longer. All right, so it's going to go like this. Long, long, then it goes normal, then they're even. Even, and then we go back to this, long, there's another little grace note. All right, so hopefully that works. Okay, now the last section is my super favorite part. Okay, we have changed our key signature. So violins, now you have gotten rid of all of your sharps. So you'll have squishy 2s and a backwards 1 on the E string. You'll also have a B flat in the key signature. So you're going to have a backwards first finger on the A string as well. Violas, you get 2 flats. Okay, so you're going to have a backwards 1 on the A string. You're going to have a backwards 1 on the D string. Okay, squishy 2. Now, I always say Mr. Dvorak, that's how you pronounce his name. Mr. Dvorak, he lived in kind of gypsy country. So the best way that I can think of it is if you were going to do some gypsy folk songs, or you were going to play something that was, and we'll use this term, overly romantic sounding, okay, and not in that kind of lovey-dovey romantic way, but like very emotional, and you want to put emotion into your music. That's what this is. This is like if you went to an Italian restaurant and someone was playing violin walking through the tables. You don't want like pop music, right? You want something beautiful and something very emotional, and that's what this is. So the minor tonality lends something to this. I'm just going to play through. The one rhythm that I want to point out that's kind of interesting is in measure 26 and measure 30. The last 2 notes, instead of what we were just talking about, instead of having a longer note at the beginning and a shorter note at the end, they're flip-flopped. So it's short, long, short, long. So I'm going to play 25 and 26, and then I'll play the whole section. Right here. It's almost like a grace note. It's like a decoration for that note. So short, long, and then you hold that. All right, I'm going to play those 2 lines. So the C section. Circle. Backwards 1. All right, right, so make it as beautiful and emotional and romantic sounding as you can. All right, so at 33, we are actually playing the same melody, but it's a variation. They fancied it up a little bit. And if you look at it, you'll notice that it is higher. All right, so it's a whole octave higher. An octopus has 8 legs, so an octagon has 8 sides. So what we're going to do is it's going to be 8 notes higher. All right, this is a weird fingering. They are going to alternate third position with first position with third position with first position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop after I play each measure, and then make sure you know you're in the right spot. So at 33, I'm going to be in third position. So I'm on my second string. I'm playing my first finger on. For violins, it's the A string with first finger in third position. For violas, it's the D string. So first finger here, 1, 2. Second measure, I'm going to scooch back down to first position, squishy. Third measure, back up to third position. Fourth measure, come back down to first position. Okay, next line starts as a repeat. So I'm going to go to third position again. First position. Shift up again, third position, and stay. Stay in third position. Cross over to your top string, 3, squishy 2, 1. And then you're out of the woods and you start the A section again. The only other thing that I want to talk about is the last 3, 4 notes. All right, so you're going to play, which is normal. So it's 2 fingers on your second lowest string, 2 fingers. Now, instead of going to an open string, you're going to shift into third position and add your second finger. So it's 2 in first position, 2 in third position. So it's here. Now there's a little teeny grace note, which means a quick note before you play the last note. And I always say this is kind of like jumping on a, not a trampoline, but on a springboard diving board. So you push down, jump up. And that's exactly what we're doing here. Now here's my push down. And so what I'm doing, I'm jumping from second position up to where my 4th finger can play. Now my 4th finger is going to reach a little bit further than where it normally would, but I'm not going to squish the string down at all. I'm going to reach up, I'm going to just touch it, and that should cause it to ring nice and loud, and it's called a harmonic. So let's try it here. 2 in first, 2 in third, and now your springboard. That one's a little tricky to get. All right, I'm going to play straight through because I love this one. I'm going to do it on viola. Oop, clunk. All right. There. All right, here we go. Here's your B section. Long. A section. Shift, crossover, shift back. All right, romantic. Third position. First. Third. First. Third. First. Third and stay. I'm going to skip the last A section and finish. Shift, springboard, harmonic. I just was looking at it. It looks like we're getting to be a pretty long video, and I don't know if you want to watch it all. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye.